It's up to
So
the
you told
court.
me I could get arrested?
Yes, it's up to the court.
Some arrogant cops think that they can get away with anything.
Mr. Dent was struck, kicked, and tased while on the ground by what appeared to be a group of angry, anxious police officers.
But when the court gets involved, they have nowhere to run. This first cop assaulted Sean Paul Reyes, and when his supervisor told him of the consequences, he was about to burst out in tears.
Reyes circled around me and did not give me his name or accept a department card. As he headed up the stairwell, I thought in the best of City Hall, I'd keep him on the ground and prevent him from going upstairs. He kept coming toe to toe with me. I extended my arms to prevent him from going to the second floor. Okay.
As soon as it is.
If you want to, yeah. All right, do me a favor, we're not done yet. Sit. Where's the pen? You got your pen?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to submit a warrant. I'm going to review the camera footage, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to get his statement. I got his statement, your statement, and the camera footage.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that all in a report.
Yeah.
I'm going to review it.
Yeah.
If I have probable cause to believe that your actions rose to the level of, I would call it an assault, since luckily he admitted to me that he was not injured and he did not want medical attention.
Yeah.
Although,
an
impairment of, injury, according to definition, is impairment of physical condition. So I'm not going to do it to you.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't.
But if I know it doesn't
hands,
matter. If you push somebody, I'm not going to do it to you because I don't want to assault you. But if you impaired somebody's physical condition.
Like that. I just kind of put my hands up.
Well, okay. So, however, if I think it rose to the level of a discon, I'll submit warrants, maybe even for both of you. If some of his language is to the point where it's disruptive, then I'll submit a warrant for both of you, and we'll see what and then it's up to the court.
So you told me I could get arrested?
Yes, it's up to the court. You got physical with somebody that, for the most part, you really had no reason to be physical with.
I didn't want him going.
Because he was filming.
Upstairs.
I know, but for what? For what? He's filming. What is he doing? Why can't he go upstairs? It's a public building. It's City Hall, for Christ's sake.
Like I said, if I was given those forms,
you know.
Sean didn't argue, nor did he get physical. It was the cop who was about to realize just how deep a trouble he was in.
After I had watched the library incident, I had seen on his channel that nearly every single one of those videos cast the police in a negative light. So I was fearful that regardless of what I did that day, right or wrong, the same would be done to me. That's exactly that.
Right. That didn't happen, correct?
Oh, no, it did.
It did?
Yep.
Okay. And the incident at the library that you're talking about, the videos, you're talking about the videos involving, I think it's Tippett and Utter, and the statement that if he'd done something 20 years ago, he would have been dead and back.
Objection is what?
20 years ago, that motherfucker was dead. Just keep it because
This is not going to end well with you, you know that.
Okay, we'll see. We will see.
I'm telling you.
The state tried hard to keep other Danbury officers and their awful statements out of the hearing, but the judge got annoyed by all the interruptions.
So I think we were on the promotion. I asked a couple questions about promotions before. Isn't it true that you didn't want to get involved in the case, as you saw from the beginning, when you arrived on the scene because you thought it was petty?
No, that's not what I said. I tried to appeal to his sympathies because I was concerned. Because after watching some videos on his YouTube channel, I noticed that all of them casted the police in a negative light. So I was fearful that no matter what I did, I would too be cast in a negative light. And also, what I didn't end up saying was the multitude of threats that were received. I didn't want that. Fortunately for me, I've never received any, but I didn't want that for myself and my family.
Fair enough.
Because there were people who were arrested for making threats against me. No, I'm just saying.
Well, I just moved to strike the balance.
He's answering your question.
Okay.
There were no threats made to him, and neither did he provide any evidence. He was just bluffing to get out of hot water.
Is that different from one that you prepared for somebody else after the 21st of July?
Relevant objection, relevant. Approach. Off the record. Approach.
I don't understand it. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
So the question is, the objection is sustained. Anything you do, anything he does, is not relevant to that investigation that day. Be more specific.
Did any investigation that you undertook
With regard to
After July
Mr. Reyes?
15th, pertaining to Mr. Reyes, was there any such investigation?
Any investigation that I partook
Correct.
after July 15th.
Correct.
Well, so, I'll just give a little diatribe, please.
I'm going to object to the form of the question. I don't understand it.
Take yes or no?
I don't understand it. Are you asking me if besides this investigation into this incident on July 15th, were there any other investigations into Mr. Reyes? Is that what you're asking?
Correct.
Can you answer that question? Besides the investigation for the conduct that day that we've all seen,
Yes.
besides that incident, did you undertake any other investigations regarding Mr. Reyes being the subject matter of the investigation?
No.
There's your answer.
Okay, so you didn't learn anything further about Mr. Reyes and his conduct.
The defense didn't even let Sean's lawyer speak. The judge was getting furious and was about to blow.
You weren't present in the clerk's office the afternoon of July 15th, 2021, correct?
Objection, ask the answer.
Sustained.
Okay.
We've had that.
Did the warrant that you did for Mr. Reyes pertain to conduct that occurred on July 15th, 2021 in the town clerk's office in the afternoon, sir? Yes or no, if you can?
Statement of objection.
No.
Ask the answer.
Okay. We're taking a recess. Counsel in chambers now.
All rise. Court's now in recess.
Let's look at all the
The judge ordered both lawyers into his chambers, and we can faintly hear how his mood was. On January 28, 2015, ex-cop William Melendez's traffic stop of Floyd Dent was nothing more than a racially motivated beatdown. We can see how the driver was stopped, dragged into the street, and then beaten by William. This was a disgrace to the city, and the judge sure didn't hold back her word.
January 28, 2015, where his life changed forever. He was stopped by the defendant, a then Inkster police officer, and his partner, Officer Zelenowski. Mr. Dent was stopped for a minor traffic offense and ordered out of his vehicle. With his hands extended out of his driver's window, he was grabbed out, thrown to the ground, and struck 16 times in the head. He was thrown onto a window shield of a patrol car, bleeding profusely from a head injury. The responding police officers arrived as the defendant is wrestling the defendant to the ground. Mr. Dent was struck, kicked, and tased while on the ground by what appeared to be a group of angry, anxious police officers that celebrated after the defendant was beaten and cuffed.
The judge made sure that the public knew how viciously these officers acted. She spared no details.
The police officers fist bumping as a celebratory act of bravery by the defendant and his cohorts. But the one image that struck out to the court was looking at Mr. Dent in his cell, shaking his head. In disbelief of what had occurred to him. What crime did I commit? Being a black man in a Cadillac, stopped for a minor traffic offense by a group of racist police officers looking to do a nigga. As Police Officer John Zelenowski, auxiliary police officer, testified in court too, in his response to a text, was quoted as saying, "At least give me the satisfaction of knowing that you're out there beating up niggas right now. LOL."
What sucks is that the officers beating Floyd showed no remorse. They were enjoying the torture.
How does this happen? On January 28, 2015, you did not fulfill your job. You performed Just Us, a game that began with a police stop. The purpose of it was to harass and degrade a motorist in Inkster, the man chosen for your game. Let's follow a car in a known drug area, and based on your years of training experience, you knew that the motorist would likely be a black person, no license, armed with a gun or drugs in a vehicle. Upon stopping Mr. Dent, you knew, and upon stopping Mr. Dent, who was dead wrong for driving with no license or license suspended, running stop signs, and weaving in and out of the back street, which the court saw in the video. Upon being stopped, Mr. Dent put his hands out of the driver's window in plain view. Your partner and you pulled him out. When he didn't move fast enough for you, you refer to it as resisting. I call it bowing down to your command. You utilized your dirty, hairy tactics and used excessive force to arrest him. Your job was twofold: investigate the situation, be a positive example to Officer Zelenowski. Kicking and tasing and ultimately throwing Mr. Dent into a windshield of a police car with a dash cam, which I refer to as the eye of justice. You were so into your bravado that you forgot the eye of justice was watching you and recording this disgusting beating, seeing Mr. Dent slammed into the window shield with blood running down his face.
This was also a hate crime because of the text messages exchanged. I guess racism still has deep roots in our police system.
Fist busting after taking him down as a sign of bravery was just another cowardly act caught by the eye of justice. You knew better. You were better trained than any of those officers out there. You were more experienced. Took me several days to read the letters that people sent talking about your character, about the man that you are. 3 of those letters, I believe, were from African Americans, and one even professed to be like a mother. One or two things: either they're all racist or there's something redeeming about you that somehow in some way you forgot that night. The way you denigrated that man was awful. Who would know and who would care about a lone black man being assaulted by upstanding police officers? Boy, were you wrong.
We need more judges like her in our country today. She fearlessly stated the obvious and courageously addressed all the issues that everyone else was avoiding.
The station, the other eye of justice, captured you and your posse making fun of Mr. Dent, mimicking him struggling while you all wiped the blood off your uniforms with disinfectant while he watched. Such an awesome, caring, properly trained police officer. You led your fellow officers down a path of cowardly behavior. But today you will pay for it. There's an old saying, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. It's equally applicable when he has the video. The eye of justice in this case. You betrayed your city. You caused your lovely wife heartache. And you caused Mr. Dent severe anguish. And finally, in the words of Vicki Yost, your commander, accountability is required to ensure continued community trust and healing. Today,
After degrading the officer to dust, the judge finally handed down her verdict.
but only you and God can change your character. I've had an opportunity to listen to both sides. And I had to say this because I didn't say this during the trial. But it was my privilege to be able to oversee this trial because I had great lawyers. And great lawyers make jobs real easy. I am going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections. However, after weighing the allegations in this particular matter and looking at all the circumstances, including what you've done and who the person I really believe that you are, I'm going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections as to count 1 for no less than 13 months, no more than 10 years. As to count 2, I'm going to give you 90 days credit for time served and close it out. The court's going to give you 85 days for credit. You have 42 days to appeal my decision. That concludes this matter. Thank you.
Even if some think the punishment wasn't severe enough, it's a victory that the officer served time and will no longer be on the force. But all cops are not bad. Just like when this auditor met a cop he knew while he was going to conduct an audit in the FAA building. But the building security had an ego.
So I need to see if I can get a PRO, or I can go through, it's fine, but I just need to get a FOIA document if I could.
That's fine. Yeah, we just need to see if we can get him what he needs. Yeah.
Just go on the FAA website. You're not coming in.
Why not?
Just go on the FAA website.
How come I'm not coming in?
Because who are you here to see?
I'm here to do a Freedom of Information Act
Okay,
request.
who are you here to see then?
Whoever the PRO is.
Public relations
Well,
officer.
see, here's the problem.
Sure, go ahead.
The FAA isn't here. They're only here for appointments. So did you see our parking lot, how full it was?
Far.
So your people,
Well,
Far. I'm gonna be real
no,
clear about this,
he-
too, Far.
He can come to the federal building and conduct business.
there's no one here to see him.
That's fine. So all we have to do is let him know that, right? Hey, the people you're wanting to see here, give them a number, give them a contact, something like that. But there's nothing out here that says that this building's closed to appointments only.
I understand.
So the building's not closed, so he can come into the federal facility.
There's no one here to see him.
Okay, so we need to get him the information for the person that he needs to see.
And also, Far, I am gonna come inside. I'm absolutely going through that.
Good for you.
So let's get that process going, okay?
No.
Why not? Are you denying me access to the building?
Yeah.
Who are you here to see?
I'm not gonna tell you that. Are you denying me access to the building?
So, see, it's appointment only. It's escort only.
Far. I'm gonna make this real clear to you. Are you gonna deny me access or not?
All right, what are you? Are you my dad?
Are you denying me access or not?
I'm
You're
not-
the security
I'm not saying
person.
anything.
I'm
What
coming
I'm
into the
saying
building, or
is-
you're gonna deny me. Which one are you doing?
You have to be escorted.
I don't really. I'm not
wherever
concerned
you
with
go
what the
past
rules
that-
are. What I'm concerned with is I'm going in my building. It's mine.
Yeah? Who's your escort?
I don't really care. You can find whoever you want. Find the janitor.
I'm not here to find an escort for you. You're
I'm not
tell
here
me
to
who
be
your
told that I can't come into my building. So either you're going to deny me access to my building, or you're going to let me inside. You need to figure it out, Far. Are you going to process me or
So,
not?
let me get this straight. You're telling me what I need to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good for you.
So are you gonna prevent me from going in or not?
He needs to be processed in.
Perfect. Welcome to the FAA.
Now this is by far the best shutdown I have seen in auditing. Officer Michael did his job amazingly well too, but it only gets better from here on.
If you have something, write her information down. I'll give it to you.
You know what I'll do?
Put it on a sticky note for you.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Where are you going?
Oh, over there?
No, you're not.
Why?
This is the lobby.
Yeah, he can go over there.
No, we can't.
It's not unrestricted area. Will.
It is. It is a restricted area.
It's not restricted.
What says that it's restricted, Far?
Show me a restricted sign. Show me an employees only sign.
Everywhere you go, you have to be escorted. Every visitor has to be escorted to this building.
In restricted space.
No, in all spaces.
Restricted spaces.
I'm telling you.
But it's,
Hey,
not, on
Far.
you. It's not on you, Far. It's not on you.
I get it.
Yeah.
But the FAA says it is escort only.
Okay. In space. Tenant
I-
space.
I'll have the President Boeing here. He can't even go back there.
Hey, Far, watch me. I'm gonna walk over
You
there,
can go over there.
and you're not gonna do anything about it.
Yeah,
Okay?
because you have these guys right here stop. Because you have these guys right here stop.
Whoa, Far. Think about what you're saying, dude. They're federal law enforcement officers that actually know what they're talking about. You need to stay in your lane.
You really do, Far.
You got
Not
it?
point at me.
I will point at you. What are you gonna do about it?
He can point all he wants, Far. Dude. If I need to talk to Jerry, I will. But you gotta cut it out at this point, man. I'm telling you, right now, on a contract standpoint, you got to stop. You got to go to the loading dock, whatever you need to do. You need to go on a patrol, but you can't be here. Okay?
All right.
Go.
I'll walk with you.
The security guard got put in his place, and I am so proud to see freedom-loving officers like Michael standing up for the Constitution. More cops like him, and we might not even need auditing. Just like our corrupt Baldy in this last case, this next office Karen made a scene at the workplace by calling the cops on an auditor.
No, I'm good. I'll ask for help if I need it. Do you work here? Or?
I do.
What's your position here?
Superintendent.
Superintendent, your name, please? Employee ID, your name, you're a public official, you work by our taxes, it's actually public record.
I have a badge ID from like 16.
Yeah, so 116? All right, appreciate it. All right.
There's no loitering in the garage.
So, ma'am, let me just clarify something for you. I'm not loitering. Loitering, if you look up the definitions, when you don't have a purpose, I have a purpose. Yeah. I have a purpose, though, ma'am. I can guarantee it. It's official business.
Well, that's fine.
No loitering.
You can tell us so much.
I'm working on a story.
And when the cop finally did arrive, he had a wild story to tell the auditor.
I'm not going to sit down.
I'm about to force you to sit down, sir.
Am I detained?
Yes, you are detained.
What am I detained for?
Trying to break into the office.
I didn't break into office.
That's what the rule is.
So on
I have a
camera.
seat right now, sir.
I have a bad back and arms. I'll stand here peacefully. I won't resist.
Okay.
I can't sit down,
You
though.
can set that down so it can record, but I don't want it in your hands.
I'm not going to set it down. And you don't have a right to search me either.
No, I'm going to take that away from you in a minute.
You don't have a right to do it. Wasn't trying to break in.
That's the call I'm getting, sir.
I don't
We're about to figure that out right now.
Put it on camera.
It is on camera
So
right
we're
now.
not innocent until proven guilty?
Sir, right now, there's an allegation. You're being detained while I investigate. I need your ID, please.
I'm not giving you ID.
No.
California law, I'm only required to get arrested for a separate crime during the booking process.
So what
No
you're telling
crime,
me
no
is,
ID.
I need your ID, please.
I'm not giving you ID.
No.
California law, I'm only required to get arrested for a separate crime during the booking process.
So what
No
you're telling
crime,
me
no
is,
ID. I'm telling you, no crime, no ID.
I'm telling you, there's a crime.
There's no
Trespassing,
crime.
trying to break
No,
in.
hold on.
And so that's
Hold
what
on.
you're being
To be
detained about,
trespassed,
sir.
you have to leave first. That's public
And so right
property.
now, not the inside of the office, is it?
I didn't go into the inside.
Okay, trying to get in, sir?
I didn't
That's what
try.
you're doing.
I did not
Correct,
open
sir.
the door. I opened the door and that time it said public, it said mask, and it was locked and I left it.
Okay.
That's all I did. I didn't try to break in.
So we're going to wait for my partner to show up. We're going to talk to you.
That's fine.
And then we're going to do what we need.
So are we innocent until proven guilty or are we guilty until proven innocent?
Right now, that's debatable on your piece,
It's
sir.
not debatable, sir.
Yes, it is.
I'm doing a constitutional protected activity. You got your gloves on like you're about to go to war with me over a fucking family. That's some shit.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yes,
I do feel that way. You're making good cops look bad.
No, sir, you're making good people look bad.
You're making good people look
You're
bad.
making good people look bad, sir.
You're wasting resources.
No, you're wasting
So we're
resources,
supposed to be
sir.
innocent until proven guilty, and you have now illegally detained me. You have
I'm not illegally
the clock has
We're here
started
on a call. I'm
ticking. Am I
explaining
free to
you
go?
why you're being. No, you're not
Am I
free
free to go?
I've already told you that, sir.
I want a
Right
sergeant.
now, again,
Please
don't
request
worry,
a sergeant.
we will.
Please request a sergeant. Please request a sergeant. I'd like your supervisor. You only got one strip. I need someone here that knows what they're doing.
Just like the missing stripes on his shoulders, this cop was missing a few screws in his head too. Whatever he did, he could not, for the life of him, get the auditor to submit.
Are you going to request it or are you refusing?
No, I'm not going to request a sergeant. I don't have to
you're
request a sergeant.
refusing. Yeah, a citizen that pays your fucking salaries.
Do you pay my salary, sir?
I do, sir.
How?
Taxes. California Penal Code 148G by making me put my camera down.
Because it's a weapon.
It's not a weapon. And like I said, I have no weapons on me, not even a pocket knife.
Okay.
So once again, why am I illegally being detained? And the clock's
Legally
ticking.
being detained because we're responding to a call for service where you're trying to break.
Call for service does not mean you have to have what's called RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion of a crime is being committed, about to be committed, or committed.
Exactly.
Me
You were
walking
trying to
around.
break into an
No,
office.
they've got
They
cameras.
called us
They've got
911.
cameras.
Match the description.
They got cameras.
Detained you.
No,
How
sir.
is that illegal?
I never once tried to break in.
That's your word, sir.
They got cameras, so we're not innocent until proven guilty?
So you're detained until we figure it out.
So we're not innocent until proven guilty, huh?
Are you going to continue to talk over?
Yes, because you guys are breaking the law right
No, we're
now.
not.
Yes, you are. You're illegally detaining me.
Argument because
You're
I'm not gonna
this
go-
guy tried to get my identification when there was no law being committed. There's no crime being committed. Detained does not justify ID. You can ask, but I can refuse.
And you did. Can I force you to give me your ID?
Have a chat with him. What are you going to talk about?
So this is
Can you
what's
guys
going
do me a favor and can you request a sergeant?
Okay, let me talk to you first, okay? So this is what's going on. They said that you came up to a window and you recorded them, which isn't illegal, okay?
Not illegal.
Hey, the point you went inside, there's no loitering inside.
Okay, so hold on.
Hold on. So Your warning right now is you can't go inside just to walk inside, okay? So the garage is purposed to parking vehicles or bicycles. You understand that? So I'm warning you right now that you can't go inside just to walk inside and have no business there. Okay?
I heard what you said. Let me know when you're finished so I can say what I want to say.
Go ahead.
So let me start by saying, first of all, I'm working on a constitutionally protected activity, First Amendment, freedom of press. I'm an independent journalist, investigative journalist. I'm working on a story. I tried to explain to the lady, me walking around, you can shake your head no. If you don't believe in our Constitution that you swore an oath to, come on, man, you're a fucking goofball, you piece of shit.
That's very friendly.
So to start off, I tried to explain to her, I'm not loitering. Loitering, if you look up the definition, is when you don't have a purpose. I have a purpose, and you can't be trespassed from public property just because they don't like I'm recording.
There is a Muni code that says you can only come in here for parking vehicles or bicycles, okay? I can pull that up.
Okay. When they have nothing left to say, they just turn around and run for their cruiser. Typical shameless behavior from these bad cops. These officers got served. Nobody does audits better than Sean, but this time cops saw a gun in his pocket. Sean visited the probation department in Newcastle, Delaware to record in public areas, but that was very short-lived.
You can't record on DOC property, you gotta step outside.
Excuse me, sir?
You cannot record on DOC property, you have to step outside.
Who are you, sir?
Officer Powell.
Officer Powell. And,
So I'm asking you to step outside.
and what law would that be?
It's a DOC private property, you cannot record.
This is private property?
It's
Who
DOC
owns it?
property.
Who owns the property, sir?
Sir, you have to leave.
This isn't private property, sir.
Sir, you have to leave.
This is public property, sir.
So you have to leave.
So this is public
you cannot
property.
record on state property, DOC property. That's the
What
thing.
law is that?
It's not a law, it's a policy. You cannot record.
It's a policy.
Yes, sir. You can step outside and record. You just cannot record inside the building.
Well, this is still a public building, public property. It's publicly accessible.
It's a correctional institution, which is a secure facility.
There's nothing secure about it. I just walked right in.
No.
There's secure areas in this building, of course, sure. And I don't plan on going into any of those secure areas,
You
sir.
cannot record in the building.
But that's not a law, sir. Respectfully, that's not a law. That's just a policy,
What's your
sir.
name?
Oh, my name is Sean, sir.
Sean what?
Just Sean.
Just Sean?
Just Sean.
Fair enough.
You mind if I get your name?
My name's Supervisor McCarron.
And my name is Sean, sir. And your name, sir?
Supervisor Dowling.
Supervisor Dowling. Nice to meet you guys.
And what's your business here today?
Oh, I'm just taking some pictures and video. I'm an independent journalist. I'm working on a story on the Department of Corrections here.
Gotcha. Do you have any kind of paperwork saying you could be on the property for doing that?
Do I have any paperwork?
Yeah.
Other than the United States Constitution.
That doesn't apply here for this. We have our policy here. So I would like you to...
The United States Constitution doesn't apply here?
No. What you're trying to do does not apply to this. You cannot record here. We have a policy that says you cannot record in our building.
And that policy trumps the United States Constitution of freedom of press?
Anything. Our policy for this building, you're not allowed to be here in this building recording when we say you can't. So I'm going to ask you to remove yourself from the building, please.
Sir, I'm engaged in a constitution-protected activity. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not, you're talking about your policy. I'm not breaking any laws. If you'd like, you can call law enforcement.
It's our policy.
If you'd like, you can call law enforcement so they can explain to you the laws.
You can remove yourself.
But that's not against the law, sir.
You have to call
You're the
law
same guy
enforcement.
that was at the Salem, right?
Where?
The women's prison?
Oh, no, I never went there before. No, never. This is the first time I've been to a Delaware correctional facility here.
The Constitution did not apply here, according to this cop, and he was only starting to get into Sean's face.
You have no other business other than being in the building. So if I decide to remove you from the building, then what?
Well, if you physically put your hands on me and remove me from the building, that would be a crime.
It would be a crime. Show me what crime, please.
Well, you cannot put your hands on people that
Show
aren't.
me what crime, please.
Yeah, that would be the crime of assault, and that would be assault.
Remove you from the building.
That would be assault.
Out from the building, we have a right to say you can leave our building.
No,
correct?
you cannot
No?
assault people
No.
that haven't
Do we
broken the
have right
law.
to say you can move our building? Do we have the right to say you can leave our building?
No, because this is a public building. Is it closed to the public right now?
It's the state. I'm sorry. I like you. If you're taking.
Yeah, I'll take whatever.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Okay.
What do you got up there that says what? The Bridge Clinic?
I'm sorry.
It's supposed to inside the lobby.
Oh, you can go
Inside the lobby where I'm not?
No, it said no loitering.
Yeah, I'm not loitering. I have a loitering
You have no business
is
in the
loitering
building.
is when you don't have a purpose.
you don't have.
Right, loitering is when you don't have a purpose. You're just standing around not doing anything.
Right.
No. I'm told you I'm engaging in a constitutionally protected activity of freedom of press. I'm a journalist working on a story.
Your credentials for the journalist.
Oh, I'm sure I could produce some credentials for you.
Credentials right now, sir.
Yeah, no, I don't have to give them to you though.
No, you do.
I don't.
You asked me for credentials.
Can you just take a step back, please?
No, I'm in my building. I'm asking you.
Well, you're
for
in
your
our building.
credentials, but I'm asking you for your credentials.
I know.
I'm
going to take a step back. I'm going to de-escalate.
Take a step back. I'm asking for your credentials.
Hey, sir, how are you?
Where's your credentials, sir?
Sir, can I see your credentials? Your credentials is what?
As an officer, this is my credentials.
Okay.
Okay. So where's
you're
your
an officer with the Department of Corrections.
Where's your credentials,
sir? I don't show credentials unless I'm forced to.
You said you're a publicist. You
I
said
am. No, I'm a journalist, right?
Well, journalist. Can I see your credentials as a journalist, please?
No, you can't.
I can't?
No, sir. You cannot.
Okay.
You cannot see my you cannot see my credentials. You cannot see. I don't need credentials, and you can't see my license. I'm not going to give you my ID. I haven't broken any laws.
But you're saying what you want to do.
I don't need to. I follow the law, sir.
And what is the law?
That is not the law.
That is our building that we're responsible for our building.
No, that's not the law, sir.
It's our building.
You can make a sign that says no
but it's our
black
building.
people allowed in a building, no white
So
people allowed.
Now. Is that what you're saying?
No, I said you could.
Said that. You said about being black people. You're being racist. That's
I'm
what
saying I said black and white people.
No, you didn't say white. You
I said black. If you let me finish.
Racist, but you're being racist,
if you let me.
Sir, at
no,
this
I'm
point,
not.
You're being racist.
I am
so
not.
I would like you to leave the building.
I'm not being racist at all, sir. I'm giving you an example that if you had a sign that said.
That was a very poor example, sir.
Why? It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It does.
Once again, you're applying things that you want to apply, but you don't know how.
If you had a sign that said no yellow people, no white people, no black people, no whatever kind of people here.
You're now cleaning up your actions.
No, I'm not.
You're playing words. I really do appreciate that.
No, I'm not.
Words. You're really a good wordsmith. But see, I see how you're doing
you interrupted me before I could finish. You said you're being racist.
No, because you were. But
you're playing a race card.
Sir,
I don't know why.
Sir, but you are. So I have rights too. What you did,
of
you
course.
defended my rights. You stepped over my rights.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did, sir.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Not at all.
Yes, you
You're
did.
being very disingenuous.
Sir, you are.
No.
Because we're trying to tell you to remove.
I'm trying to give you an example of why policies.
That was a very poor example.
No, it's not. It's a perfectly aligned example.
So what I would like you to do at this point, we're going back with words, and we do not feel comfortable with you in our building. We're asking you to leave the building.
Right, and I have business to conduct here. I told you that.
What business do you have to conduct?
An open records request for the Department of Corrections is part of my story.
This officer tried to play the race card on Sean. Now this tells you how much these guys just want to win you over. And they're not shy to call you a racist if it suits them.
It doesn't have to display, because your actions display this way.
Excuse me?
Please take your hands out of your pocket.
Sir, there's nothing in my pocket.
I don't know what's in your pocket.
Okay, there's nothing, there's no...
Then take your hands out of your pocket.
There's nothing, there's no weapons in my pocket. You just saw. I just showed you.
No, I don't know what's in the bottom of it. It could be a knife in
Sir, you're being a tyrant.
No, I am not being tyrant.
You are being a tyrant. You have no right to... You have no...
So this way he can't do his narrative.
Subject to search over there. We're subject to search.
In this building, you are in this building, you are subject to search.
Where does it say that?
I'm asking you to take your hand out of your pocket.
Sir, I just showed you there's nothing in my pocket other than a cell phone.
Says that for anybody
It's a cell phone. You shouldn't be scared. You guys are armed. Why are you scared for? You are scared. You tell them I can't put my hand in my pocket because you're scared.
I'm showing you what the sign says.
Right.
You asked that.
Okay.
So we showed you what the sign says.
Right. I'm not in a restricted area. This is a publicly accessible area.
Nothing says restricted.
I know that.
It says any person or vehicle on the property subject to search.
Okay. So violate my rights and search me then. If you think that sign makes you have the authority to violate my rights, my Fourth Amendment right of unreasonable searches and seizures, search me.
Not unreasonable.
It is unreasonable because there's nothing you can see. There's nothing on me.
Not providing any ID.
I don't. What about my ID would make you feel safe? You're scared, obviously. So what about my ID or credentials would make you feel safe? I mean, you're acting scared by saying, get your hands out of your pocket. That's acting scared, sir.
That's actually being...
I'm not scared. You guys have weapons. I'm not scared. What would I be scared for? You guys have weapons. I don't. All I have is a camera. That's all I have.
The great thing about this whole thing is you are creating a narrative, which I like. You're creating a narrative that fit your... If we can step away from their window, because that's something totally different. So we step away from their conducting business of their window.
I mean, if somebody comes up, I'll move out of the way.
Once again, I asked you something polite.
Did I not just move out of the way?
No, but you're telling me what you're going to do. If somebody comes up,
because I will move out of their way.
But I'm asking you to move now out of their way.
No, but they're not I'm not in anybody's way. Again, you're just trying to feed me directives because that's what you're used to doing. You're used to people following your directives without question. Why do law enforcement officers get so scared when people have their hands in their pockets? Like, do you think everybody's out to hurt you? Is that what it is? Because you're the one that do you think everybody's trying to hurt you, officer?
You don't have to comment that. Let the conversation.
I mean, he said, take your hands out of your pockets. Why? A lot of officers I see say that. Why? Why can't a free man or woman have their hands in their pockets?
Yourself speak, so keep speaking, please.
I mean, you've been talking more than me.
The cops finally saw the armory of weapons in Sean's pocket. They said it was a knife, but who knows? They might just call it a gun and Sean.
Excuse me, sir.
No, I'm okay. You're okay.
I know. You're just
I'm asking.
You're just walking in
I know,
front of me.
but you're not going to go any further near my officer. So I'm making sure you stay pretty far away from my officer. That's all.
Just it could be considered, and
it could be, but I'm asking you to stay close.
Disorderly conduct.
Okay? You don't need to be in this conversation, sir. It's okay.
A little close.
I understand, sir. It's okay.
I'm gonna try walking away from you.
I understand, but you're not able to go into the lobby. But you're okay.
It's a secure lobby. Why would I go in?
No, doesn't matter, sir. Just making sure everything's okay.
Everything's fine.
I understand, but you're not going to be in this conversation. There's no need for you to be there. This is something that has nothing to do with you.
I think he's getting educated. I think that's what's going on.
But right now, you don't need to be close to him. That's all.
But you could be close to me.
Because you're getting close to my officer. You made a move to my officer.
He's going to explain to you the same thing I'm explaining to you.
I hope not, because this is public area. Being a correctional facility doesn't.
It's a common area. It's not
Right.
a public area. Up front, this is state property. So unless you have official
State
business
property,
here-
public property, it's the same thing.
Unless you have official business here, you do what you like here. You can submit whatever paperwork you like for your investigative, journalism. Cool, great. But speaking to these two gentlemen here, you haven't provided any sort of credentials or paperwork for you to obtain that information.
Right. I don't need to provide credentials to anybody. I don't need to provide my ID. This is the United States of America.
Right.
We are free to enter into
Correct.
publicly accessible areas
But again,
and record law
right
enforcement.
now,
It's a First Amendment protected activity, sir.
So right now you're trespassing onto state government property.
I'm not. If you read the trespass statute, that is not what the
Right.
trespass statute says.
They are here with us.
And they're currently closed.
And they're currently
Right.
closed, so therefore we control the building.
Yeah, right.
So what you're
well,
doing
you
is-
don't. You don't. But at the end of the day, and you'll see in the federal laws. Okay, that's fine.
Until you can show
I'll
me
wait.
proof, we're going back and forth.
All right, great.
There's people
All right,
here
thank you,
that
sir.
are
Thank you. I
victims.
appreciate that.
There
They're
are people-
victims?
yeah,
Okay.
there are
Like
people
you,
here
right?
victims.
Like you.
There are people here who are victims. People here who
Like you, right?
So
In the end, police officers let Sean be, even though the officers from the probation center were salty that he was allowed in there. And that is all for today. If you liked the video, subscribe so you don't miss out on the next upload, and thank you for watching.